Mortal Kombat 1 has had its fair share of monsters and ghouls. We got the Centaurs and Motaro, the four-armed Shokan with Shiva, Goro, and Kentaro, Reptile with the Zatarans, Baraka with the Tarkatans. We got dragons with Onaga, weird half-dead zombie monster immortal people with Chaos Realm citizens with the Havoc. You got demons like Ashura and Serena, but hands down the coolest of them all and the most sexy. The coolest of them all has got to be Nitara, the vampire. Now if you don't know Nitara, she's a Mortal Kombat character from the 3D era, like the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox era, where Mortal Kombat was made by Midway. She's appeared in 2 Mortal Kombat games, and since then she hasn't been in a Mortal Kombat game in roughly 20 years or more. So she's been revamped and redone in Mortal Kombat 1's new timeline. And today we're going to be comparing the old Nitara from the 3D era Mortal Kombat games versus the new timeline revamped version in Mortal Kombat 1. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and we're going to get right into the video, starting off with the old Nitara. Nitara made her first appearance in the Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance in 2002. She was created because one of the illustrators on the dev team wanted to make a vampire in Mortal Kombat because they thought it would be cool. Originally there were supposed to be 2 vampires, 1 male, 1 female, but they didn't have enough time for the male version of the vampire, so they just stuck with Nitara and kept it. Nitara's origin is that she's a vampire from the realm of Eternus, the vampire realm. For the most part she functions like a regular vampire, although the only sunlight that actually kills her or bothers her is the sunlight from Earth realm, so she can roam freely in other realms with suns. It's just the Earth realm sun that actually kills her or harms her in the traditional vampire fashion. This is how the vampires are able to feed on multiple different people in multiple different realms. Just it makes it harder for them to feed in Earth realm because they have to do it at night. In some point in time, Shao Kahn the Conqueror invaded their realm and conquered their realm. This led the vampire realm of Eternus to be merged with Outworld. Nitara was one of the few who survived this invasion, and she was forced to work for Shao Kahn as one of his lackeys. Although her people were conquered and her realm was merged with Outworld, she still never gave up on finding a way to free her people. She secretly and desperately searched for a way to free her people and her realm. She discovered the existence of an orb that was holding her realm to Outworlds. But with Shao Kahn still alive and the orb being buried beneath a lot of lava, she could not get it at this point, so she had to build a plan. At this point the Deadly Alliance were running amok. They had already killed Liu Kang, the Dragon Warrior. They planned to come to Outworld to destroy Shao Kahn as well, and Reptile, Shao Kahn's lackey, figured this out. But on his way to telling his master about the Deadly Alliance's plot and helping them prepare, Nitara found Reptile just before he could tell Shao Kahn and told him to come down to one of Katana's bases in Outworld. Reptile seen this as an opportunity to gain even more information to help Shao Kahn in his war against Edenia. But little did she know this was all a part of Nitara's plan to free her realm. She had already seen that Cyrax, who had regained his soul, had come to Outworld to be a scout by the orders of the Earthrealmers, Sonya and Jax, the Special Forces. So Nitara manipulated Reptile into fighting Cyrax and damaging Cyrax's teleporter, which allowed him to teleport throughout the realms. After Cyrax defeated Reptile, Reptile fled and went to tell Shao Kahn all that he had learned. But Nitara used the fact that Cyrax's teleporter was damaged and leaving him stranded in Outworld to make a deal with him. Go down into the lava since you're a robot and get the orb from me, and I will send you back home. Cyrax was left with no choice but to help because he had no way home. So he got the orb for Nitara, and Nitara sent him back in return. So Nitara finally had the orb in her possession, smashed it on the ground, and she freed her realm. Happy ending. Fun fact, if you play Mortal Kombat Deception's Conquest mode, you could actually see Nitara and Cyrax talking near a bunch of lava. Now you would think the story is over, but this is where it just begins. Soon after she had freed her people from Outworld, she learned that her people were being slaughtered and faced genocide. After an investigation by Nitara, she found out that the Chris, the Datusha, basically an evil sword, sole purpose to defeat and kill vampires. It is sometimes referred to as the vampire's only true predator. The blade is a cursed blade, mind controlling whoever wields it to kill evil and vampires specifically. This is not the first time the vampires were pushed to extinction. In the past, a vampire known as Kahil Grigish was corrupted by the Chris, mind controlled and killed many vampires. Even though he overcame the mind control of the sword, he had felt very bad for what he had done to his people and his realm. So he went to the nether realm, slew himself, and left the sword stranded in the nether realm forever. Or so they thought. Ashura, the demon of the nether realm, found the sword and began slaying demons in the nether realm. The sword led her to believe that every time she killed evil, that her soul would then be cleansed. This may have some truth to it, but the sword's sole purpose was to kill vampires, and so did Ashura do. Nitara once again searched desperately for a way to save her people, and she found the answer in Adenia. Now Nitara is neither evil or good in Mortal Kombat. She's kinda like an anti-hero, she does what she wants. But in her Mortal Kombat Armageddon ending, she became a blood god and turned every single strong fighter into one of her vampire slaves and conquered the realms. Before she could retrieve the thing that would help her defeat Ashura and the blade, she fell in the Battle of Armageddon. Now with the Mortal Kombat 1 reboot, the new timeline Nitara is not as complicated, she's very simple. Nitara's people created a flourishing society after they evolved through the use of feeding on other creatures. But as time passed, their society began to crumble due to the fact that they were overfeeding on the creatures they had in their realm. This once again led their realm to being on the brink of extinction. If they couldn't find a sustainable food source, they would starve to death and go extinct. Nitara took it upon herself to find a way to feed her people and save her realm. On her journey on doing this, she found the sorcerer Quan Chi, who used her powers to help her people be able to move in the sunlight. This allowed her to freely move throughout the realms to find a great food source for her people. But little did she know, she was only a pawn in Quan Chi's plan. Like Nitara always does, whether it's the old timeline or the new timeline, she figures out a way to save her people. If you don't already know, all of Mortal Kombat 1's endings are proven and said to be canon. In Nitara's ending, she was almost banned by her people for siding with Quan Chi after Quan Chi's plan had failed. If she hadn't found them a new source of food, she would be banished from her realm. It was thought that returners would have to conquer realms in order to survive and feed. But Nitara came up with a new plan. Her plan was to take people from different realms, bring them back to Returnus, and breed them over and over again, having a limitless pool of bodies to feed on. In Nitara's mind, a few thousand sacrifices are nothing compared to saving her realm. Yep, so basically Nitara builds a laboratory meat market for her people. Pretty smart. Alright guys, this is the end of the video. This is the old timeline Nitara versus the new timeline Nitara. Which one do you think is more powerful? Which one do you think is more cool? Do you think the old Nitara, it looks cooler and her story is better? Or do you think the new Nitara, Megan Fox voice actor, is so bad she don't even deserve to be talked about? Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. It's Waffles, and I'm out. Have a blessed day and stay prayed up. Peace!